With one sample hypothesis testing, we can also compare proportions. So let's take a look at a two-tailed test for proportions. In this example, we know that historically, the percentage of customers that purchased a product when visiting a website was 2.84%. The company launched a promotion for free shipping for purchases over $25 for online products. So we want to test to see if there's been a difference in the purchasing rate. We take a sample of 1,500 customer website visits during the promotional period, and of those, 56 purchased a product. We're going to use an alpha value of 0.01 to determine if there's been a change. For this example, since we're doing a two-tailed test for proportions, we're going to set our null hypothesis as pi equals to pi naught. The alternative hypothesis will be that pi is not equal to pi naught. Given the information in the problem, we know our alpha is 0.01, our pi naught was 2.84%, so we're going to set that as 0.0284. N is our sample size. We had 1,500 customers visit the website, and of those, our capital X will be 56, so 56 purchased a product. So our value for P, or pi, our percentage, will be B21, which was 56 out of the 1,500, which was B20. So 3.73% of the website visitors purchased a product. We're doing a two-tailed test, so we'll have two t-values. Since we're looking at 99%, or 0.01, we'll have negative 2.576 and positive 2.576. Our t calculation will be our value of P from cell B22 minus pi naught from cell B19 divided by the square root of pi naught multiplied by 1 minus pi naught divided by n and the square root of that value. That calculation gives us a value of 2.083. So when we look at our distribution, since we're looking at the right-hand side, our t-calc is closest to our t-table on the positive side of 2.57, and our t-calc will be to the left of that, which falls on the do not reject the null hypothesis. So we're going to fail to reject the null hypothesis. We can set up our calculation to see if that value for our t calculation B25 falls between our t-table values, then we'll fail to reject the null hypothesis. Otherwise, we'll reject the null hypothesis. So we have the correct conclusion of failing to reject our null hypothesis. Then we can calculate our p-value. Our p-value will be the norm.s.dist function given our value from our t calculation, and we'll use a 1 for cumulative, and it's 1 minus that value. So our p-value will be 0.0186, which is not quite lower than our alpha value of 0.01. However, we still can say that with over 98% confidence, we have in our result and our conclusion.